Welcome to my D&D Beyond homebrewing tutorial. I'm Nosfero, and today we explore another fan favorite feat, Polearm Master. Of the many reasons why people choose this fantastic feat, for me personally, one reason shines brighter than the rest: the ability to do an opportunity attack when a creature enters your melee weapon reach. This is a great way to leverage more of your action economy. Are you ready? Because we are about to begin. If you'd like to learn more about opportunity attacks and action economy, please see the links in the description below. Let's first start by copying the description of this feat. Once again, I'm using dnd5e.wikidot.com to easily view digital content and make our homebrew faster to implement. Now let's head over to the D&D Beyond's website, hover our cursor over the collection menu, and when the menu pops up, scroll on over to the Create Feat button. When the page loads, click the Create from Scratch button. Now, we have our blank feat ready for content to be created. Let's type in the name of our feat, Polearm Master. If you're anything like me, let's add an acronym at the end representing the book this feat is coming from. This feat is coming from the player's handbook. Let's head on over to the version field. Let's type in 5e. Then let's scroll over to the description field and paste in what we copied from wikidot.com. Scroll on down and go over into the snippet field and do the exact same thing. I like to remove the extra white space. Now we are done with this page, so let's scroll on down and click that orange button for Create Feat. When the page reloads, we are now ready to start adding the two features to our feat. The first is a bonus action to attack with the opposite end of the polearm we are using. Scroll on down to the action section and click Add Action. Move your cursor over to the action type drop-down and click on it. There are three choices here, and the choice we make matters significantly, for each choice changes how this action works. I would like to spend a moment to cover each option. First option we can choose is the general option, and it is for actions which may not be tied to an ability score. If the action is tied to an ability score, perhaps we don't want that ability score modifier to appear in any damage the action may cause. The next option we choose is the action type of weapon. This option we will want for our polearm backend bonus action, as it ties your action to a specific ability score, and it works and operates similar to how damage and hit rolls work for equipped weapons from your inventory. Lastly, we have the spell option. This option works similar to the weapon option. However, it also enables the use of the save type fields to be leveraged on your character sheet instead of needing a hit dice. The choice we make between these three options make a big difference in how the action works with our character's ability scores and the hit and damage rolls we have available to us. But the importance of this choice is not made obvious in this simple drop-down menu. Select the weapon option, and the rest of the drop-downs and fields should appear. Let's name this action Polearm Backend and change the ability score type to Strength. Let me just say that most of the time, having the ability score type of Strength is the correct choice here, as all the polearms we can use with this action are all strength-based weapons. This does not, however, account for special weapons or special abilities of certain classes and subclasses, which will allow you to change the ability score used for making attacks. One example is the subclass Hexblade for the Warlock. This subclass has a feature which allows a character to use your charisma modifier for attack and damage rolls instead of strength or dexterity. With how we're implementing this action, it will only deal with the strength modifier. When, or if, you want to use this feat with a character which will not have a strength-based weapon, you will want to work with your DM to make adjustments to this action. But in general, using strength is the correct option here. So let's move forward with that choice. This action is something we are proficient with, so click the checkbox to the right to ensure our proficiency bonus applies to this action. Click the attack range dropdown and select melee. This choice disables some of the range options below and picks a melee-looking icon for our action in our character sheet. Scroll on down to the dice count and insert the value 1. Then head over to the die type dropdown and select D4. Scroll down a little bit further and click the damage type dropdown and select bludgeoning. Next to that, make sure that the display as attack has the value yes selected. Scroll down a little bit further, look for the activation type dropdown, and select bonus action. Now, all we have left is a snippet and description fields for us to fill in. For these two fields, we start with the wording from the feat itself. Let's head back over to the wiki page that I still have loaded, and I'm going to copy the bonus action section. Head back over to D&D Beyond page and paste that into our snippet field. Let's do the same thing for our description field, but let's start making some modifications. I want to be able to view in our description field the types of weapons that would make this action possible. So let's copy out those weapons or cut them out, and let's paste them at the bottom. Now that we've cut out the various different weapons from the sentence, we need to make it a complete sentence. So let's change the wording. When you take the attack action and attack with only a polearm listed below, you can use a bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end of the weapon. Great, so now that sentence makes sense. Now I'd like to take this list of weapons and let's change it into a bulleted list. Click the little bullet list button and slowly make modifications to make our list. Now, when we click on this action in our character sheet, the description will pop up and allow us to view easily which polearms would allow us to be used for this bonus action. Scroll on down to that blue save button and click it. When the page reloads, it's going to bring us right back to the same page, but it's going to open up at the very bottom of the page the level overrides. We don't have anything to insert into this field, so let's just go back to that blue save button and click it again. Now that we have finished this first action, let's work on the next action granted by this feat. We need to add the new opportunity attack that we can use, so let's click the blue Add Action button. This time, let's click the action type dropdown and select the general option. Click on the name field, and let's type in Polearm Master Opportunity Attack. Since this opportunity attack uses the weapon we have equipped, it makes more sense to reuse those attack and damage rolls from our weapon and instead implement this action as more informational. Next, we'll scroll on down to the Display as Attack option and select No. And we scroll on down to the Activation Type field and we select Reaction. Now, we are left with their snippet and description fields of which we need to fill in. Similar to what we did in our previous action, I like to make more modifications to what the feat actually displays. But first, let's start with the wording that the feat offers. Let's head over to the wiki page, and let's select our reaction. Copy that, and head back over to D&D Beyond and paste it into the description field. Just like before, there are a list of weapons that we can use for this particular opportunity attack. Let's cut them out of the sentence and paste it at the bottom. Let's take that list and let's convert it into a bulleted list. With that done, we now need to make the sentence make more sense. Let's remove the first 6 words, capitalize creatures, and let's change the ending of that sentence. Creatures provoke an opportunity attack from you when they enter your polearm weapon reach. This action can only be performed with the following weapons equipped. Great. Now we have the description. Let's take that first sentence from our description. Let's highlight it. Copy it. And paste that into our snippet field. With that done, let's click that blue Save button. Just like our last action, the page reloads, and it's back where we were before. Let's scroll on down because we don't have any level overrides to add. Let's click that blue Save button again. And that concludes our homebrew of the Polearm Master feat. Let's finish off this video by showing you what our hard work looks like when we try and use this feat for our character. Going to move over to our character tab that I already have loaded. I'm going to move over to the features and traits section, and then that feats button. I have no feats loaded for my character, so I'm going to click that manage feats button. On the right-hand side, we have all the feats available to our account that are possible to be added to this specific character. I'm going to scroll on down. I'm going to look for that Polearm Master. There it is, right there. Click that red and white button to add it. Now we should be able to look at our character sheet in the background, and we can see that it has added the details for our feat, as well as the 2 actions that it has added. Let's take a look at those actions. Hit the Actions tab. Now let's look at our bonus action. Here's the Polearm backend. Additionally, we also had a reaction. And now we have our Polearm Master opportunity attack reaction. When we click on it, it gives us our list of the weapons that are possible to be used for this particular reaction. It's the same thing with our bonus action. When we click on the Polearm, we can see that the list is also edited right there. Now that we have seen the result of our work, let's wrap things up here. Today we used dnd5e.wikidot.com to provide us the details for Polearm Master. We took the details written in that page and we programmed it into the homebrew system of dndbeyond.com. Then we did a quick tour of our work to make sure it came out the way we wanted it to. If you liked what you saw, click that like button. If you enjoyed the content and want to be notified when I post more, hit that subscribe button. If you have something specific you want me to homebrew, contact me through Discord at Gaming with Nostro or via email, both of which can be found in the description below. Thanks for watching. Until next time.